In 2007, I moved to Florida and very shortly thereafter met my husband. And as with anyone, when you get married, you gain weight. We decided to start a family and very quickly got pregnant with my daughter Paisley. We were ecstatic to have a little girl after 6 generations of boys in my husband's family. And we even had extra imaging done to make sure that Paisley was healthy after knowing that my husband was born with a congenital heart defect. Doctors told us that we were having a perfect little girl, and on July 17th, Paisley was born. We were able to come home 2 days later on our 4th wedding anniversary. It was shortly thereafter that we realized that something was wrong. Paisley spent all night asleep, didn't have any wet diapers, and my husband even put a cold water bottle on her back and she didn't move. We called the pediatrician and they told us to take her to the hospital. After a few hours at the hospital and an x-ray showing an enlarged heart, doctors knew that something was wrong and she was flown to a children's hospital. I remember arriving and finding a room full of doctors and nurses around her hospital bed. That was so scary that it took hours before doctors were able to diagnose Paisley with multiple congenital heart defects. And because she went home undiagnosed, Paisley's body systems had begun to shut down. She was in kidney failure, she was in respiratory failure, and she even had a brain bleed. My husband and I would spend 14-hour days standing next to Paisley's bed in the NICU, and I was so afraid to leave the hospital because I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to come back to my little girl. One night at 2 o'clock in the morning, they even had to call us because Paisley was working too hard to breathe and they had to let the machines take over. I didn't think that I was going to have my little girl for much longer after that. Well, we finally made it to the day of open heart surgery, and it took 8 hours for the doctors to fix her heart. I was so excited when they came in to tell us that Paisley did great through surgery and we could finally go see our little girl. It was Labor Day before we got to hold Paisley because there were just too many tubes and wires. My husband took a picture of it and sent it to me while I was at work. I couldn't wait to be able to make it back to the hospital to see her. It was a month after surgery before Paisley was able to go home because they had to teach her how to eat again. My husband was able to stay home with Paisley for the first year while he was finishing school, and we made a conscious decision to change our lifestyles to become healthy for her. We were able to lose collectively 150 pounds and are both still active and constantly aware of the healthy choices that we make so that we can be there for her.